Why am I here on a Tuesday afternoon? Huh. I don't know. I don't know. We's in session upstairs. Um, I had to turn my Buddha around. Hi, Fairy. Yeah, I'm just going live. Um, Wait till a little bit more people get here because we got some discussing to do about the divine feminine and what we're allowing to happen and what we're putting up with and um, what we are allowing in our lives. So, um, working but listening. I love that, Fairy. I'm eating snow. Um, um, I'm feeling good today. After my live last night and dreaming and talking to spirit and all that fun stuff, I mean, there really is a crisis happening, and we're unaware of it. And as divine feminine, we are really, really um, allowing way too much to be happening in our lives. And I'm not talking about mine in particular. I'm talking about it. It seems to be a collective thing. Like it seems to be like something that um, is happening everywhere, all over the place. It seems like as divine feminine, we are listening to and putting up with so much negativity and confusion, and which is why I've created this class that I'm going to be having on Tuesday nights because it's I really see it as a crisis. Like we are um, allowing some serious things to happen in the divine feminine. And what I mean by that is simply those of you who are stuck in a place of no movement in your um, relationships. Um, we're allowing you guys who watch my lives, you know that this is one of my biggest pet peeves and it's such bullshit. But those of you who are stuck in a situation with a twin who is married to somebody else and you're getting crumbs and bits and pieces of that person when they're not with their significant other, husband or wife, right? But when they get bored and they get lonely and they get tired of being with the same person all the time, then they want to reach out to you because they know you're in a holding pattern. And when you get in that holding pattern, any type of crumb from that other person is what, as divine feminine, we tend to cling to, right? And I'm feeling that crumbs aren't enough, right? Um, these crumbs that we're getting come with other things, right? I like to call them stories. Um, Crumbs come with stories, and those stories include things. And if this sounds familiar to you, you need this class. If this sounds familiar to you, this class was for you. Okay. Um, if you're being told that I'm staying in the house for financial reasons, I'm staying with her or him for financial reasons, I can't afford to be on my own, We're staying for the kids so the kids can have a good life and see their parents together. Um, those types of things, if you're hearing those things and you think your story's special because you're connected, please join this class. Um, we're going to get down to some really raw truths in this class. And we're going to be talking about um, let's get out of the side chick role, okay? Because we tend to see that we don't see it like that, right? You don't see it like that. You don't see it as your um, the mistress or the other woman, or um, you don't see that because you're spiritually connected, because there's a connection there, and your story's different, somehow different than everybody else's because you're spiritually connected, right? But if you're hearing those words, I'm staying for the kids, it is the biggest line of bullshit I've ever heard in my life. I'm staying for the kids. It's more harmful to the kids to stay in a situation where you're not happy, the other person's not happy, there's circumstances, perhaps there's adultery happening or anger or so many things, right? First of all, if you're in a relationship with somebody who's in a relationship with somebody else, you're not being chosen, right? And what does that do to us as divine feminine energy, right? Divine, don't forget that word, divine. It's important. We're stuck, right? Because this person's showing attention and they're telling us, I will leave, I will leave. I'll leave my wife or my husband, whatever the case may be for you. I'll leave. Okay. Um, I don't want you to leave another relationship for me. I want you to leave for you. And then we can come together, right? Um, this class is for those who have been stuck in a situationship. I'll repeat that, situationship, for weeks, months, years, sometimes even decades involved. I see it a lot. We see it a lot. If you fall into that category where you've been in a situationship for however long, what we're going for here is movement, right? Movement in um, a direction, right? Movement away from this mentality, away from the mind noise, away from the situationship, right? If you find yourself in a waiting pattern, waiting, 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 let's discuss what you're waiting on and what you're waiting for and who you're waiting for. Those things, all important, right? They're all important. But if you find yourself in that, again, this class is for you. Um, we will see movement. We will see movement in your situationship for sure. Um, we're going to go in and attack this not being good enough, because if you are in this situationship, you're bound to feel not good enough. Why aren't they choosing me? Why do I have to be a choice? Why is there a decision? Why do they have to choose between me and somebody else? And what if he doesn't choose me? Right? All valid. We're gonna attack that. We're gonna open that all the way up, and we're gonna talk about it. So I'm pretty excited about this particular course because it's only going to be for women. It's only going to be for us divine divine feminine, right? Who is may or may not be a twin flame. That's up to you. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about what it is that's keeping you standing, what it is that's keeping you waiting, what it is that's keeping you from being who you are, what it is that's keeping you stuck in that situationship because you're spiritually connected or because that's your twin or um we're going to discuss that, right? um you'll hear me say it. I've said it a lot. I'll say it again. The universe isn't going to send you somebody else's spouse. They're not going to send you somebody else's man or woman. Yeah, but Sherry, those are just legal papers. Those are just papers. um we have a spiritual connection, and it's different. I'm going to put this chair up. It's different. And I was there. I felt the same way. um I've been there. I have. And I felt horrible. I didn't feel good about myself in that situation. I didn't feel good when Lee was trying to figure it out. But um, I didn't sit still. I didn't wait for him to sit still. I married somebody else and had Cameron. He'll be 15 Saturday. And my life would, hi, my life would be completely different without him, right? Should I had second, should I have thought about that and second thought it and thought, you know what, I'm going to wait for Lee because I know he's my twin flame. I didn't know that back then, but I'm going to wait for Lee because I know he's my twin flame, and I'm not going to waste my time on anybody else or anything, um, because I'll feel like I'm cheating. If I would have been in the mentality, I wouldn't have Cameron. We wouldn't have Ron in our lives, and he's a great friend. Um, so this course I'm going to run on Tuesdays is just for the divine feminine, and we're going to discuss all these things. If you're stuck in that pattern, if you're stuck in that situationship, we're going to get movement. Um, yeah, we're going to get movement because this stagnant energy is a lot. Um, I have to tell my friend. Remember last night when I was on a live and my mom kept calling? She wouldn't have stopped. But then when I got off my live last night and I called my mom back, she didn't answer. She didn't answer. Yeah, she didn't answer. Um, I have to call her back. Not call her back, but send her a message. Anyway, so that's what we're going to be really, really, really focusing on this Tuesday night class. We're really going to be focusing on getting out of side chick mentality, getting out of it's okay to be a mistress. It's okay to listen to the bullshit. It's okay to believe the bullshit. It's okay to believe them when they say they're staying for the kids or they're staying for financial reasons or I'm sleeping on the couch or we sleep in separate rooms. Um, if I'm saying it and you've heard it, you know it's bullshit. You know it's bullshit. But no, Sherry, we're different. Our story's completely different. Is it? Is it though? Is it? Um, I'm there too. Not nice feeling yet. We have been going on different paths since we met at 16. We are now 65. Ooh. Do you think we will all overcome? As for myself, not even wanting to be with Twin Flame anymore. Yeah. Yes, I do. I do think we will. I do think as a collective that we're going to stand up and stop putting up with this bullshit and and realize that, yeah, we can be significantly connected to somebody, a human being. We can be spiritually connected to another human being. But putting our lives on hold and waiting for that other human being is a whole different ball game. It's a whole other story. When they're out doing things that are pleasurable, that hurt us, that take away our value as women, as divine feminine, right? We are just as important, right? And we put up with so much because we feel not worthy. We feel unloved. We feel unheard. We feel, all the uns. And um, I just remember how bad of a place that was. And it was brutal. And I don't want anybody to have to go through that. And there's going to have to be a time when you stop. I did not say divine will not give you another. No. I said divine's not going to give you somebody who's connected to another. Um, Universe isn't going to give you somebody else's person, whether you feel like you're spiritually connected to them or not, right? Whether you feel you are connected to them or not, the universe isn't going to bring you somebody else's partner, whatever that is, right? Um, yeah, but we're different. I hear it all the time. How different? And it's not different. It's the same. It's the same as I experienced. It's the same as Lee experienced. It's the same. Um, just what I'm finding is the divine feminine, we seem to be falling into this hole of waiting to be chosen. We're waiting to be chosen. Why? If we choose ourselves first, then what? Right? Then what happens if we all start choosing ourselves? If I hear one more person say to me, they haven't slept together in years. He's slept on the couch or in the bedroom, and she slept on the couch or in the bedroom. And it's not like that. We're not a married couple, and everybody knows that. We're not together. We just live in the same house and raise the same kids. That's all. If you're not behind those closed doors, honey, you don't know what's going on. And the biggest lie in the world is, oh, we're not together. We're just staying here for the kids or for the whatever reasons. And it's a lie. I want to get you out of that. I want to help you get out of that. So much has happened to us as feminine beings, right? I know personally, you know, I guess I didn't feel chosen at birth because my father wasn't even in the hospital room, and then he was at the bar, and then I chalked it off at um, I chalked it up as, you know what, um, so many 12 million excuses for him. I started making excuses for my dad when I was little to make up for me not feeling chosen. My dad went on to have a whole other family that he took care of at times, and at times he let them fall right on their ass. And I found even as I got older, I made excuses for him. I made excuses for my first husband. He was physically abusive. I was sexually abused. So that changed me into you know what I mean? It changed me in a lot of ways. It built walls It built mistrust so much. And at one point in time, I feel like if any man would have come to me with any form of unconditional love 5 or 6 years down the line, I feel like it would have been the same thing, that I would have been falling into the trap, the mess of being a side chick or being a mistress, because it's comfortable there. You're not felt, there's no pressure, you're not feeling chosen in the first place. So if any of these things are sounding familiar to you, this class is for you for sure. Let me see what's going on over here. Hi, Amber. Would you say the new energies that are coming more and more are being new, feminine, right, and and karma? Old generation being under men. Um, you know, I do feel like we're still evolving from being under men, right? I do feel like we're still evolving from that. Um, but I feel like when it comes to this dynamic, we're still falling short. We're still a as a collective, as a feminine collective, we're still falling short because of the things that we're allowing to happen in our lives. Because we are continuing not good enough. We're continuing not chosen. We're allowing that to happen in our lives. And I'm blessed with an amazing twin whose unconditional love is overwhelming and it's beautiful, right? Um, just in talking to people during the day, during sessions, and doing these classes, I'm realizing this is a real problem. It's a real problem. We're believing these people when they're telling us that they're not sleeping together, there's no relationship, they're staying for the kids, they're staying for financial reasons. If any of those things are applying to you, please consider joining this class. I'm really only going to take 6 in this class. It's going to be all women, and we are going to get down and dirty and discuss this side chick deal, right? We're going to discuss the sugar baby deal. We're going to discuss the mistress deal. We're going to discuss the waiting game. We're going to discuss getting our power back and learning about our own individual power, right? Spiritual power, even not manipulation at all, right? Spiritual power, self-worth, worthy, loved. There's so much building up that we need to do because we've tore down for so long. We've tore ourselves down for so long. Let's see. I'm working on improving myself in my career. Perfect. My healing path has led me to peer support for persons with substance use disorder. Oh, that's amazing, Denise. That's awesome. My daughter, I have a 30-year-old daughter with an addiction to fentanyl, and it's pretty brutal as a mom to understand, and it's hard. So you know where I'm coming from. A short and correct reply to being a mistress would be simple: no, don't do it. Just don't. It sounds easy to say, CC, but some people don't even realize that they're in a mistress role. They don't realize that because we are convinced to feel like you're the one I'm choosing, but we have to hold off for a little bit until my kids turn 18. Or we have to hold on a little bit till after soccer season's over. Or if we can just wait for a little bit, she won't get my pension. Or if we can just hold on, if you can just wait for me for another 5 years, when the kids graduate, it'll be great. Yeah, that's the kind of shit we're going to get into. That's the kind of shit we're going to discuss. that we're going to tell those stories. We're going to talk about what we're being told and what's bullshit and what's not. Um, the hardest thing was to move on. We had to, yet we still have reconnected our whole lives, never disrespecting each other until 5 years ago. I've been widowed since then. Ah, okay. Um, yeah. Um, you know, I don't know much about your story, but what you've said, and you met in high school, you knew you were connected, you took separate paths, and you've come together periodically. Sounds to me like a twin flame union, right? What it's lacking is the physical relationship. And to some people, that's what they're after. They're after the physical relationship part, right? Instead of enjoying the connection and being in the connection with that person and loving that person just for being in the connection with you, right? It is a very spiritual connection, right? They can be in a whole different country and you can be in a whole different country and be so connected, um, and still live your own lives, right? There's nothing stopping you from doing that. There's nothing stopping you from being you. There's nothing stopping you from living your life. Look, I almost died. I had liver disease. I was in hospice care. Like my life, I was losing my life. And I felt it slipping and slipping and slipping. And now I've had that second chance of life. I've actually had a third chance of life because I just had another major surgery in May where they had to go in and fix things. And I feel like I've been given these second and third chances at life because I'm not done here. And, Lee's upstairs right now talking to somebody in session and trying to help them. And, he'll be up there till 6, 7 o'clock at night. And sometimes 8 or 9 o'clock at night, sometimes 10. It just depends. But I know that I have something to do, and my dreams and spirit keep pushing me. I know that part of the mission here was for me to start bringing my spiritual gifts into play. So that's why we're running these spiritual courses, and I'm doing medium readings and card readings during these classes. And we're just not doing it. We're just letting spirit do it, and spirit's pretty cool instructor, right? But I know that when I was hearing all of this, when I'm talking to people the past few days, that I'm realizing that this is a real crisis we got going here. This is a real crisis. And we got to fix this. We got to un-F this, because if we don't, it's only going to get worse, right? We got to come together. We got to come together as divine feminine. We got to stand up for ourselves. We've got to learn self-love, and we've got to realize that, hey, we don't have to stop and be still for anybody, right? We don't have to run. We don't have to chase. We don't have to be the stand stiller, right? I really, really, really want 6 females, 6, that's 7 including me, in these courses, 7 females, me and 6 of you who are going through this, what I'm talking about right now, right? In any way, shape, or form. I really, really want an impactful class. I want a course that's going to change things. That's going to change. If we don't start with ourselves, right? We've got to start with ourselves in our situations. So if you're connecting to any of this and you feel spirit push you, because that's how I'm dealing with spirit. I'm telling spirit, push them. If they know this is for them, push them. Let's get them moving. Let's get the movement in these situationships. Let's get them moving, whether they're twins or not. Let's get them moving out of side chick mentality, out of mistress mentality. Well, I'm not a mistress. I'm the first one he picks. Well, that's cool. How is coffee with him in the morning? Oh, he doesn't have coffee with me. He still lives with his wife. Oh, okay. So you're being chosen, but he's having coffee with her in the mornings. Like, who's washing his dirty underwear? Chances are she is. Um, Perhaps they don't get along. They're getting along some. Um, let's see here. So hard as a person in recovery now. I empathize with you. Pray for your daughter and you also. Thank you so much, Denise. She just had a baby in April, and the poor little thing. She got in a car wreck in 2012, and she broke her neck and her back, and she got addicted to opioids, and then it's just evolved. But all she's ever wanted was to have a child, and she did, and it was tragic. Um, he's the baby's still okay. They had to wean him off of fentanyl, but yeah, he's fine, and she just refuses treatment. So I don't know. I don't know. It's a pretty rough situation, but as all of the situations are, right? I mean, it just is, and we just love them for who they are, not for what they do, right? And the decisions that they make. And I know that the drug is more powerful than her at this moment, and I just gotta continue to do what I'm doing and send her energy and positive energy and words of affirmation, and um, do everything I can as a parent to just show her love. That's what I do. Um, why do women? Why do women do this? Do you think? Okay, I can give you my opinion, and we're going to talk about this a lot in this course. I just feel like we're still evolving from being under that male's thumb, but I also feel like we, as women, go through a lot more than the divine masculine. And I'm not taking away from their what they go through and the things that they go through. I'm not taking away from that. I'm because I do know plenty of men who've been sexually abused and physically abused and abandoned and all those things. But I, what I want to say is I believe it's because we've been taught to believe that we're not worthy, that we're not, or that it's okay to be the weaker, right? I really feel like we've been raised in that, and we've been throughout our lives abused so much that we cling to anyone or anything that shows us any type of love, right? Any type of healthy love. And a lot of times those situationships turn completely unhealthy. And now we feel like we're in a twin flame union, and that's not what we're in at all, right? Um, so we're going to be talking a lot about that in this class, and we're going to be getting to the bottom of. Um, I really love that ice. Um, why? Why individually we are we feel that way? I'm totally getting in on the discussion. Why I totally felt unworthy, unloved, abandoned, and I was just waiting for Lee to hurt me and abandon me. All that all that waiting for him to hurt me and abandon me, all this time I wasted waiting for him to hurt me and abandon me. And has he? Yep, he's hurt me. But it hasn't been, and I've hurt him. It hasn't been anything that's been so detrimental that um that we've separated again. We've evolved out of that, and our lives have evolved through those things, right? Um, but I do believe that we do it because we feel unworthy. There's another reason too, and it's fear. And fear's big, and I'll tell you why. And I'm going to use my own personal experience. And please put yourself in these shoes, right? If they're not already. Um, Lee is the only one that walks this planet that could destroy me. He could hurt me so bad, I feel like I could never recover, right? Um, Lee knows so much about me. He knows my weaknesses. He knows my triggers. He knows he knows what can put me back into undesirable spaces, right? He knows how to make me yell. He knows how to make me scream. He would probably know how to make me throw things if we were still there, right? And don't think we weren't, because we were. Just because we're twin flames doesn't make us any less human, right? But I know that Lee could break my heart on a level that it may not ever be repaired. That instills a fear in us, and we build protective wall, and we start keeping things from them, and we start hiding the truth because we don't want them to think less of us. We don't want them to think, we don't want to come down with curlers in our hair and mud on our face, right? Because we don't want them to see us like that. Um, the dynamic is a strange one, but it's fulfilling, right? Whatever happens after this movement happens in your life in these classes, um, is big. They're big things that are about to happen. Big things. We're going to come out of this class as seven women who are the change, right? Because the signs always say, be the change you want to see in the world. Well, there's no other place to start than right here. There's no better place to start than just be the change, right? Be the change. And I honestly feel like um, there's no greater sign of deeper healing than to guide others and teach others from what we've been through and what we've gone through and what we've done. And just like in our spiritual classes and our mediumship classes and reading classes, we're guiding one another. Like we are reading one another. Like there are readings going on with amongst the people in the class, which is super, super cool. And messages for other participants in the class. It's just beautiful. Um, which is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for 6 women who are ready for movement out of their situationships, twin flame relationships, twin flame union. I'm coming up with a word. Let me come up with it. Let me get it to sound right. Is that let's see. Should I call it twinship? Twin situationship. Twinship. Let's just do that. Right? Whatever you want to call it. Let me see this. I don't want to forget. Here in Tennessee. Oh, I forgot something. We do need empowerment. Why are we going to do about this label twin flame? People making it out that it is extra special, when in reality, while it's about a higher love, the term twin flame or the term defined female is nothing new. Colorful foresight. Thank you. If we can go the rest of our lives and not hear the twin flame word, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? It's a label that humans have put on this. That humans have put on this dynamic. I personally am annoyed by it, but it is what it is. And that's how people relate. And that's how it's the tagline. It's the tagline, right? There's been such a misconception, and we are totally going to go over this in this class too. There's such a stigma too, and there's so much around this, right? Once you get in a union, everything's beautiful. Is that right? Is that right? There are no more argument. What? There are no more arguments. What are you talking about? We're human. He still leaves the lights on, right? In every room in the house. We still have to pay the electric bill. We wouldn't have to pay as much as if he would turn the lights off. We're human. It's a human thing, right? We are two humans that are spiritually connected. I say two humans because I believe in two humans. You can believe whatever you believe. We're gonna how I do this in class and even in session. Even in session, if you're doing root camp with me, I know that I'm doing 3 separate root camps right now, and one of them is with a female who has been brutally sexually abused. I thought mine was bad. This is pretty bad. But she she just, I'm trying not to give out too much information, but um let me let me see before I finish that. Hang on. I wanna see this so I can finish my statement real quick. Oh, here we go. Okay. Um yeah, anyway, what I was saying was she didn't realize that going through everything that she did, I'm learning so much from her, but not realizing the walls that she's put up, the weight that she's gained, um, the hair that she keeps messing with. And if you guys have seen our journey, you'll see my evolution physically. You'll physically see my evolution from what all the way up to where I got sick to the point of death and to rebirth. You'll see it. You'll see it unravel right in front of your eyes. Um, but she was under this stigma too that we're just a cult or strange people, or um, she couldn't possibly be feeling the things that she's feeling. Um, she comes from a completely different belief system, and it's exact opposite of mine, which is kind of cool to me because I really do, when I do sessions and when I talk to people, I talk to them out of their own belief systems. So I don't instill mine, right? Excuse me. I do talk from and speak from my experience and where I've been and what Lee and I went through. And that's why we documented it. That's why we put it here on YouTube for your viewing pleasure, right? And my hair evolution. Woo, and my weight evolution, right? Um, there's a certain stage in this union that you get to where health is important, each other's health is important, right? I want Lee to be just as healthy as I am because, well, I don't know what happens when one of us goes, right? Um, I don't know. Does he stay on and still continue to do what he's doing, or will he get sick too? There's so much to this connection. It's hard. You can't see into the future. You can't dictate what's going to happen. So we enjoy it while we're here, and we enjoy being human, and we enjoy being connected on a spiritual level. Um, we enjoy these perks of being with one another. We don't even have to try. You walk into our home and you feel it. Everybody who comes into our home says it. They feel it. They feel it. We don't even have to try to work at it anymore. And let me read here because I'm way off, or I'm way behind. Mm-mm-mm. So yeah, we need to figure out what we're going to do. Colorful, thank you. The term is annoying. We do need empowerment. So ready for movement in a new cycle. It's time. And here's the thing with this class, I want to move you out of the situationships and away from the cycles, right? Cycles are going on in here. We want to stand back here, right? Like, ooh, let those cycles happen while we move away from those. And Lee and I were stuck in cycles for years, right? So I don't want you to have to do that. That's why we're here. That's why I know that I didn't die, right? Spirit's been giving me messages and showing me things. And last night I had this crazy dream, and it was spirit led, and spirit was everywhere. And I know that we need to do this as females, as feminine energy. We need to do this. We need to come together. Lee's had men's soul chat. Um, he's got classes where it's full of men breaking down their walls, breaking down their barriers, becoming more vulnerable, learning how to show love, learning how to receive love, learning to love ourselves. Those are all things Lee does. And he does the men's thing. Well, it's time to step up and create this empowerment course for women who are stuck. We got to get unstuck. That's what we're going to do. We're going to get unstuck. It's important. I feel like I'm stuck in every aspect of my life. I'm really unhappy. It sucks feeling this way. Allie, get unstuck. I can help you. I promise. I've been there. I felt that way. I felt that way recently with my health. You know what I mean? As soon as I start feeling great and feeling better, like now, something always happens and I'm not back on the operating table. Well, I'm just looking at it differently this time. I'm just looking at it as I'm going to be healthy no matter what. And um, I don't want to be stuck in any more cycles. I just want to move on from them. So we're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna talk about it as a collective. There's going to be 7 of us in this class, in this course, 7, and that's all. And then we'll expand, right? But let's start with 7. Let's start with 7 of us empowering each other, telling our stories, right? Telling our stories and learning from one another, and really being open-minded and listening to where we're at and where we're stuck at and why we're stuck there. Yeah. Whatever spirit may lead. Yes. Yes. Here in Tennessee, I have a residential program for moms and babies where they can live together. If I can ever help, please reach out. Oh, Tennessee's not too far from Cincinnati. Not too far. Hi, Ashwini. It's not difficult for them to choose us. It's not. They're choosing somebody. So somebody's getting chosen, right? The problem is we're not choosing us. We're not choosing us. That makes it easy for them to choose somebody else because we're not choosing us, right? Should I had been like, you know what? We slept together and he left and I couldn't get him out of here fast enough. I watched out the window for him to leave. 2 years of silence. 2 years of silence. And I know some of you are saying, try 7 years, try 22 years, 34 years. Sherry, I've been in this waiting pattern for so long. It's time to get out of it, even if it's only been 2 hours, right? Even if it's only been 2 hours. It's not difficult for them to choose us if we make it easier for them to choose us by choosing ourselves. That's important. And that's why Spirit's leading me to run this course. Or in other words, maybe why do we all feel like we are forcing them to choose us? You never have to do that. Never. Never, ever, ever should you have to convince somebody to choose you. Never. It should become it should be natural, and it should just flow if you're being chosen. If you're not being chosen, it feels like hell. It feels like hell. But what we tend to do is go into this deep, dark hole of depression instead of standing up and saying, you know what? I've got all this worth and all this love to give. And somebody needs it. And somebody wants it. And if you're staying in your situationship, then I've got to create my own situationship with myself, right? And there's going to be a lot of movement. There's going to be a lot of movement. We come back to class every week. We're going to discuss the movement every week already from first class. I'm going to give you all tools to go back with. And I'll accept your tools too. There's not one teacher in this class. Oh no, we're all going to learn together and we're all going to discuss it and we're all going to figure it out. I just may have been through, when it comes to this union, the ick. A lot of the ick. A whole lot of the ick. Yeah, the class is going to be awesome. There's only going to be 7 of us. That's important to me, because when spirit, I too am a medium. So like when spirit comes to me, I want to be able to, oh shoot, I got a session I got to get to. Okay. That was Lee. Okay. That was Lee reminding me I had a session. I had a session with somebody. So watch for the information on this class. I'll probably come on a little bit later this afternoon and we're going to finish talking about it. But right now I have a session I have to get to. Hi, Anika. Hi, Kiki. Hi, Ashwini. Hi, everybody. Twinergies. I love that. Hi, Angie. Yeah, thank you so much. I'll be back. To be continued. I'll be back. So just watch for me to come on if you get notifications. But I have a session I have to get to. It's pretty good one. So I'm going to go. See you soon.